Yeah. Mike knows all about Starry Nights.
I like that, man.
You like Batman?
Yeah, get that down. Start
Yeah, I like Batman's Whiz Palace.
Mm-hmm.
But who doesn't?
Welcome back to Rabbit Troop Sucks. We are a whiz palace, and we are a podcast about obscure, forgotten about, and often overlooked films. And Mike was just whizzing the night away.
I was, yeah.
According to Jeremy, at least. I don't know what to say about that. But as always, I'm Paul. Next to me is Mike.
Just a guy whizzing around.
Yeah.
We got Lamar.
He gets knocked down, but he gets up again.
Wow.
To whiz.
The whiz again.
He is the whiz. And we got Jeremy.
It's snowing outside, guys.
Yeah, how's Snowmageddon treating you?
Good. I mean, it's really just sleet that's falling now. Like little round, tiny pebbles of ice.
Was just getting started.
It's delicious.
Getting a blizzard.
It's pouring that stuff out of the sky pretty good, to be honest with you. Like, once it starts snowing and covers that up, I'm sure hilarity will ensue.
Did you put titanium on your roof to like weatherproof against this?
No. I just opened the
Titanium?
roof
Is
up.
that what you're supposed to do?
Oh yeah, like you just got to get the highest grade metals.
Titanium.
I don't have I didn't do titanium this year.
You need to basically purge your house, like in the movie The Purge. So you just
Right.
have stuff coming down, purge wise.
No, I'm just going to let it snow.
That's fine. I mean, that seems more like now we're in the winter, and you could just let it happen.
Yeah.
But you know, we're in the winter, and we're also celebrating Lunar New Year as we have in the past few years on Rabbit Troop Sucks, and that's what is bringing us to Kung Fu Hustle 2004. Hey everybody, it's the year of the snake. It's the year of the wood snake, which I looked up.
The wood snake? That
Yeah.
sounds-
Wow.
It's gonna get you.
What is that?
It's gonna get you.
If you tune into the Stiffs dossier later, I'll tell you all about my wood snake.
Well, Mike, it highlights transformation and growth.
Yeah. That's, you know,
I'm sure it does,
one
yeah.
and two.
The old wood snake.
Yeah.
And much like that,
Transforming.
in Shanghai, China, in the 1940s, a wannabe gangster aspires to join the notorious Axe Gang, while residents of a housing complex exhibit extraordinary powers in defending their turf. Yeah, Jeremy chose this one. I've only seen this movie once, I think, in its entirety, pretty much closer to 2004. So it's been about 20 years since I've seen this film. But yeah, happy Lunar New Year, everybody. I love when we highlight movies that kind of celebrate, you know, like Asian cinema. I just like learning a little bit about the culture itself and kind of everything that goes into these films. As I said in the previous years, these movies just kind of like, you clearly see like inspiration from Hollywood, but then just, you know, these directors and writers like clearly bring elements of their own. So yeah, I mean, this movie is like clearly different from the other movies we looked at before. Was it Winners and Sinners was last year.
Yeah. What did you learn about Chinese culture from this movie?
Oh, I just mean like this would be definitely more pop culture. Like this,
Sure.
this is like more like you could see like the old school ways of like martial arts and like a
Right.
kind of old story, like really teamed up with more like modern video game culture
Yeah,
and like cartoon and almost like anime culture, stuff like this.
Right. Like, what if this was Kung Fu mixed with a Roadrunner cartoon?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I just think like what I mean more is like not just learning about like a culture, but like more like, since we're, you know, a podcast about obscure, forgotten about, and often overlooked films, more about the cinematic stylings of this film, which definitely was par for the course in 2004. I mean, there are so many movies that are trying to stylize like martial arts every which way. This movie's trying to follow suit. So this is definitely like a page in 2004. I'm glad we're looking at this. The movies previous that we looked at, I'm like, oh my God, we're looking at 80s. Definitely then we're looking at more of kind of like a culture adapting to like Western views and music and stuff. Winners and Sinners, Rod Stewart. Someone just playing Rod Stewart. Yeah, this is more of like an updated, like an old school view of a culture, but really just like, as Mike noted, cartoonish and, as I said, like video gamey.
What was the first Lunar New Year movie we did? The Chow Yun Fat one?
Yeah, The Seventh Curse.
The Seventh Curse, okay.
Yeah, God, that movie's awesome. You should all watch all of these films.
That's true.
I don't know. I like this movie takes some of the stuff from older Chinese cinema, like, you know, running up like wires and shit like that. And also having like these boss battles where you have like low level henchmen that battle like
Well,
a master.
Even one of the things I read in trivia is like one of the sequences, like the landlady, like is basically step by step, like pantomiming something Bruce Lee does in another film. Like it's like an homage to like literally the big boss, I think. So yeah, I mean, like this is definitely the culmination of like martial arts cinema since the 70s, with up until 2004, like, I don't know, like
It's a
contemporary.
quirky look at Kung Fu.
Yeah, mixed with the special effects from Matrix Revolutions.
All the wires.
The wires, like all of the CG people. It was like the Agent Smith boss fight times 1,000.
Yeah, and it doesn't really hold up, that CG in this.
No, it does not.
Yeah, it is like that is the roughest part of this movie is going to be like when we talk about CG. I think the story absolutely holds up. Like I think you have a really fun story, but I'm going to say that loosely. I took a pause because I'm like, I think the story when you get to the end of this movie is so freakishly disjointed that you're like, what the hell? But you do have a cool story going on here, and I do feel it's like contained. I mean, it is contained within the movie, but like rightfully so. That if I was looking at like an animated series like that, like I could see someone trying to be like, he will learn his powers over the course of 3 seasons. I'd be like, you son of a bitch. This story kind of speeds along, which is fun.
Yeah.
Because I think like this movie could have dangerously gotten to like the 2.5 hour, 3 hour like epic, but this movie definitely tries to ground itself in more comedy and action, and thank God. This is all helmed by Stephen Chow. He's the director and the writer of this,
And the star of it.
and
the star,
and you get numerous people, including himself, Shaolin Soccer, which is I feel everyone takes as like the spiritual sequel to this film, or this is the spiritual sequel to that.
Yeah.
film. I'm sorry, Shaolin Soccer is 2001. But yeah, have we all seen this before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
In theaters.
Yeah, you said that before, Lamar. That's
So
weird.
Yeah.
I knew you. Why wasn't I there?
I think I was just meeting you. You know Jeremiah, who is
Just
a
meeting
listener.
you, dude. I met you in like 1998 or
shit.
99.
Yeah, it's a couple years in.
Yeah, but this is 2004, man.
Yeah, how about that?
Like I was almost in your lives by the point of this movie coming out.
Jeremiah he still is a huge anime fan and a big fan of kung fu movies. I remember when this movie came out, the previews were on the air, and we're like, yeah, we're all going. Our other listeners, Lucor and Rami, we were all there. I believe opening weekend. This movie is kind of like an anime brought to real life, and that's kind of what brought us really in, because we were huge fans of anime at that time. I've only seen a couple anime in my life, and one of them was Ranma 1/2, and I think this movie encapsulates what Ranma is. It feels like an episode of Ranma. For anyone who's ever seen the anime Ranma, this movie feels like a live-action Ranma, and for that reason, I love it. I don't know if that style registers with other people, if they like this movie or not, but just for that reason alone, I just want to see like the comedy styles done in real life. I just want to see guys flying around, getting kicked around, and just wild ass.
I just love the old lady in this, man.
She's
great.
Her character just is the closest thing
The
you can get
landlady.
to an anime character. It's ridiculous. She really makes this film for me. Just everything she does.
She makes me want to smoke cigarettes. Like I just want to fucking have a cig dangling out
Tell
of my
me
mouth.
about it.
She gets the smokers going. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were there opening weekend.
I mean, so I'm trying to really just go back in time. So Lamar, yeah, I knew you for like 5 years at this point.
you did. How about that?
So we definitely didn't just meet. Also note, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon came out in 2000. So I think everyone was like used to now this like more epic modern martial arts style. So I think the real big twist, and I'm really just trying to go off like the top of my head, the real big twist with seeing this movie was, wait a minute, they're going to add some comedy. This is like still that kind of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style, but a little zany, but like still kind of serious. Like, what?
I have to agree. Every time I've seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, it kind of blew me away when I saw it back then. I saw that in the theater as well. And
Also saw that in the theater.
it's just like,
Mayan theater.
hey, I think I saw that in the Mayan as well. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
So you were really uncomfortable while watching this movie.
While watching this movie, I just wanted to see, hey, just take all that wire action and just go nuts with it. Get whimsical with it. If you're going to just have guys flying around, have them bouncing around off of buildings and shit and just going at each other just like an anime.
That logic works in cinema and with your dominatrix.
You
That's
probably
true.
don't want to do that too
Yeah.
much with your dominatrix.
Well,
But-
I mean, whatever you're into.
Yeah.
Get a safety word going.
Yeah.
Get
Have
the
her
safety
nut
word.
kick
You
you
have
off
to
the
have
wall.
that. That's what I wanted. A nut kick that's so violent that guy has to be propelled up a building by wire. And I got that in this movie.
Yeah. Safety word and all.
Yeah.
Jer-
Yeah, for
Jer-
free
Jer-
in this movie.
Jeremy, did you see this in the theater? Do you remember?
No. I don't think I think Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was the first what I would call Asian cinema that I saw in the theater, unless you want to count Rumble in the Bronx as Asian cinema.
I do. I
do.
count that. Yeah.
Hey, I've said before, Jeremy and I saw that in the theater, and I swear to God, my favorite part was then we went in the parking lot, and everyone was like,
Kung Fu fighting.
Yeah, like doing
Yeah.
flying
Everyone-
kicks.
yeah,
and
everyone's
like,
like
judo
fast as
rolls and
lightning?
shit.
they were, Mike.
Were they a little bit frightening?
A little bit.
Okay.
I mean, a little bit because no one knew what they were doing. Right. So yeah, that was my favorite part. Like, yeah, I was gonna jump off this. I'm gonna jump into a tree. And oh man. Yeah, Mike. So, did you see this in the theater?
No.
I also did not.
Well, there you go.
No, I want to say it was on my radar when it came out, and the two dudes that I lived with at the time, as soon as it was available to like rent, we did so. So I mean, I saw it like pretty close to when it came out, but not in the theater.
I also did not see this in the theater. I think like renting it or something seems like a 2004 thing to do.
Yeah.
I rented a film, like an American Psycho.
You went down to Blockbuster.
Yeah, I got to return my movies. Got to return my flicks.
I watched it through somebody's window. I just stood outside of their big bay window and watched it.
Okay.
How about the adjacent movie, Shaolin Soccer? Did you guys see that before or after this movie?
I've never seen that movie.
I think I saw that after this film.
Same here.
And Jeremy, the twist on your life was that person let you watch it. They saw in the mirrors that you were there, and they're like, "I like when he watches."
He's fine.
Yeah. Was it weird that he was jerking off to you watching him from the outside?
Yeah, that was his thing. He
Yeah,
paid me
okay.
$20.
What Jeremy's calling card
He's
is?
like, "Can I give you $20 if I can watch you watching Kung Fu Hustle while I jerk off?"
He just
Yeah.
he just leaves Jeremy like an envelope of money, like clung to a tree, like an ornament.
That's a really weird Craigslist
But I
ad
want
that
you
he answered.
standing outside. I don't trust you. Yeah.
Jeremy's calling
That's how it
card
all
is
played out.
at the very end. He fogs up the window and just draws a little heart.
Yeah.
There wasn't a heart.
Little parting gift.
He also didn't draw it with his finger.
Thanks for the 20.
Yowza. What's going on in the beginning of this film? Like, I have sparse notes. Like, there is a gang war. Is this like really just like?
Yeah, I think it's just to set up that like the Axe Gang are badasses and they don't
like,
give a fuck.
But who do they kill in the beginning?
Some lady, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like, so there's like a gang lord and he's in prison to get his wife out who was arrested, and he's like pissed at the cops because he's like, dude, I'm a gang lord, like, you know that you're not supposed to mess with like me and my family.
This
and
is
shit
the
like
guy
that.
wearing like the Chinese jacket and the cowboy hat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his teeth do not look very good.
No, they didn't.
But yeah, so he beats the shit out of a few cops, like kicks one of them up through the ceiling, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And at this point, you know, like you're dealing with something that is beyond real, you know? As soon as you launch somebody
I
through
will
the ceiling.
get all of you from
The
beyond
power
the
kick.
grave. From beyond the grave.
Well, a lot of people get sent to the grave in this movie.
But
so.
I can't remember, and it's my notes suck right here. I have better notes like right after this scene. Is this like just establishing this is the Axe Gang? Like
Yeah.
this is the
Well, the
I don't
Axe Gang comes in because the guy walks out of the prison with his wife, and the Axe Gang rolls up, and I guess like the captain of the police force called the head of the Axe gang because he's getting paid by him. And so they kill him out in the street in front of his wife. And then, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm piecing together is, sorry for the terrible notes, everybody, but if you didn't see the movie, you're going to follow along with me.
Yeah.
It's going to be a wild ride.
Also, this scene doesn't matter and takes 45 seconds.
No.
Well, yeah, I guess like what is really trying to be established is the Axe gang is above the law. The police are in their pocket. And no one is down with supernaturals. Like, we'll just call it.
Yeah, nobody turns down the Axe gang.
Yeah, so
otherwise you get fucking axed.
And no one's cool with a supernatural because they can present problems. They're going to be the rabble rousers. Like, no one wants a hero. And if that's the case, the Axe gang is going to come in and just end that. And that brings us to present. I just didn't know if like this mob
and their
boss
body
is-
spray makes you smell kind of broy.
Oh,
It
yeah,
does,
well,
sometimes you just want to smell like an axe.
yeah,
Okay.
sharp, metally, real wood handle, 4-inch hawk.
Wood snake, not him.
I do like this opening scene that sets up who the Axe Gang is, how violent they are, and how above the law they are.
They're all in like fucking tuxedos and like some of them have large
Like
top
stovepipe
hats
hats, like fucking Abraham Lincoln.
I just didn't know if the people who died, like the wife and stuff, were like of consequence. But it's just
They
like
are not.
No,
Paul,
it's-
I was with you at first, and then I realized, this is just a setup to show just how badass they are.
yeah, and to highlight that, like if you have supernatural powers, they are absolutely going to shut that down.
Yeah.
Which like is going to bring us to the like apartment complex or like this kind of villagey apartment complex because there's not one, but we're going to find out there's three, and some twists along the way, but three, we'll say to begin with. And they find out, and they're not happy about this.
No.
Yeah.
Very few people are happy about anything in this movie.
That really grinds their axe.
They do have an axe to grind. A literal axe to grind.
Oh, how about that?
What is this? Pigsty Alley is what the
It
place is
is.
called?
Pigsty
I
Alley.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they were going to call Diagon Alley in Harry Potter.
But
but
City of the
this
Stars.
was already used.
Wow.
Oh, I get
Pigsty
it. That's
Alley.
why it goes diagonally.
Oh.
Yeah, because Harry Potter's really well
It's
written.
all
and
coming
creative.
together.
HP in the city.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, well, that's going to be the new series. Nice little spin. Never saw it coming.
No.
Well, we learn a little bit about this complex. Like, basically, this landlord and this landlady are kind of taking care of it, kind of overseeing it.
Yeah, they're sort of like slumlords.
Yeah.
They're slumlords. At first, they seem real dickish,
Yeah.
And especially the
At
lady. She's
first.
like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
She turns off this guy's water like mid-shower. And for some reason, this guy goes through the whole movie without ever pulling up his pants all the way.
It was
And
the
they
style of
make,
the time.
Yeah.
they make great note of showing his ass cheeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his thing. He was sagging before all these other kids
What's
were.
that guy's name? Is it Donut?
Donut was the other guy.
Yeah. This guy's just unknown. I call him ass cheeks.
Yeah. Yeah. The ass of the land.
Yeah, this was the hair
The ass man.
Yeah, the male landlord's like getting free stuff. Lady landlord's
Yeah.
shutting the water off because no one's paying their rent.
I like that the landlord. So like, yeah, it's a married couple and it's a landlord and landlady. I like that landlord is starting off in these like nice silk silver pajamas. Mm-hmm. I'm like, at first I was like, who is this guy? But he's just like getting food, hanging around. Like people are like working outside and this guy's just like literally like just walking around in pajamas, like eating like baked goods. Seems dope.
Yeah, it's a good life.
He has
Yeah.
a special greeting for the tailor as he
And those
approaches
jammies
inside.
look comfy, dude.
He approaches inside. He plays a little grab ass with him.
Yeah.
He's so passive and aloof. He's like the polar opposite of his wife.
Well, I mean,
They give off different energies.
although landlady seems like really tough, like seeing the whole movie kind of unfold, my real question is she, Jeremy's like, like they're both kind of dickish. I'm like, but is she, I mean, she is, but it does seem one that landlord can't keep it in his pants and is really just like cashing in on free goods. And it also seems like a lot of people in this like complex aren't really doing anything, and she's kind of pissed off about that. So I'm like, over the course of years, she might have some like legitimate grievances.
Maybe she does.
Yeah.
I think the problems that he's causing are very minimal, but I think it's a yin-yang. It's a yin-yang thing. I think she balances off all the problems that he causes, but maybe she causes more problems.
Yeah, it's like a good cop, bad cop kind of situation.
It balances out.
And like,
I love getting balanced off.
yeah, well, who doesn't?
Balance you off good in the back alley.
Like he doesn't seem to care about the landlord. Doesn't seem to care about the money. He just wants to like be the big shot and get free stuff.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, his wife is up in like their apartment or whatever, just chain smoking and being angry. It's it's a good dynamic. But yeah.
It gets by. I mean, all the people seem happy enough. They have a roof over their head, kind of, as
Yeah.
long as they pay their rent.
$30 a month. That's not bad.
Yeah, you did the math too on
That's
that.
almost twice what I pay in Denver right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, all that kind of gets turned on its end when a couple, what we're led to believe are what the Axe Gang guys show up.
Axe members.
Axe members.
Yeah, we get Sing and we get Bone. I had to
But they're
look.
not technically Axe members.
No, they're not, but we don't know that.
And if you're
They're
wondering why Mike's
moonlighting.
laughing, I had to look up Bone's name.
Yeah.
Is
Bone the fat one?
Yeah, on IMDb, it lists the other guy as Sing's sidekick / Bone.
Okay.
But Sing is Stephen Chow.
Do they ever in this movie call either of them by name?
I think Sing might be addressed at some point in time.
I think so as well.
I feel pretty confident about that.
Because, I mean, I know it's like a running gag that I don't know anyone's name. I genuinely don't know anyone's name from this movie.
You're forgiven for this.
And I actually kind of tried this time around.
Yeah, I mean, well, first and foremost, like a lot
Except
of
for
people
Donut.
don't have real names. Like we have Landlady and Landlord. That is how they're being addressed
Yeah.
all throughout the film. I like Mike. I feel like honestly, I do feel Sing is addressed at some point in time, but I do not feel his friend Bone is ever given a name. Like I was actively like, what the hell is his name? So that's why I found out it was Bone / like Sing's sidekick. There are other people. Even I try to be up on this. I did not find out their names. I do remember Donut though.
Yeah.
I remember 2 names.
Taylor,
Donut,
Donut,
and the
Beast.
Beast, Brother Soon.
Yeah, that's the leader of
Wasn't
the Axe
there a
Gang.
guy named Cooley? Is that Cooley?
Yeah, Cooley.
Yeah.
Cooley's in the house.
Is there a coolie or is that just what
Everyone's a
landladies- I don't know what that
Yeah,
means.
I kind
or-
of assumed that was some sort of like ethnic slur that they were throwing
Thought so
around.
too, or maybe maybe not even that. Maybe just like coolie means like a bum or
Yeah.
just someone who doesn't pay rent.
You hope.
I hope. I'm praying. I'm crossing my finger.
You guys are throwing this term around
Yeah.
fast and loose. So.
Shut
Yeah.
it down there. Yeah.
I mean, Jeremy's one step away from planning a Cooley tattoo. So.
Yeah. Is that cool?
Hold
Wake
on
up,
on
Amy.
that.
Wake up, Amy. We're getting Cooley tattoos.
Okay, I just looked this up at my own peril. Do you want to know what it means?
Yes.
It's tagged as being offensive and dated, but it is an unskilled native laborer in India, China, and some other parts of Asia.
Okay. All right.
So there you go. It just means like
All right.
low life, I guess.
I'll hold off on it until, society calms down.
Yeah.
Which will be never.
We'll bring it. We'll revisit it.
Whenever that happens. All right.
Well, basically, as we note, we get Stephen Chow Sing. Him and his buddy Bone, they're already trying to grift their way into this complex. So they go to the local barber and they're like, oh, like this is my friend and he wants a haircut. And Bone gets a haircut. And the grift is he's like, oh, he's part of the Axe Gang. And Bone takes off his shirt and he's got these 2 axe tattoos across his chest. And he's like, man, you made him look too good. Like, he can't look too good. He's supposed to be feared. He can't look this good. And the guy's like, what are you talking about?
The
He's like,
barber is the ass guy from earlier.
He's
That
the
was
ass
taking a
man.
shower.
Ass cheeks.
Cheeks.
Yeah. Old cheeky.
So, yeah, after Cheeks cuts his hair, he's like, well, what do you want me to do about this? He's like, well, I could pay him off. We could bribe him. So you give me some money and I'll give it to him. I'll try to smooth things over. And Cheeks is like, no, not a chance. He's like, okay, well, he's going to get really angry. And I like that Cheeks is like, you know what? You could do whatever you want to me. There's like 1,000 other people here, and you're going to have to get through them. And this complex, gathers quickly.
Yeah.
They've all got each other's backs, which is nice to see.
Yeah, and then even the landlady comes down, and just slaps the ever-loving shit out of Sing.
This is one of my favorite scenes in the movie where Sing's trying to pick a fight. He's like, you old man, but it turns out to be this shredded old guy. Like you in the
Get out of
class.
the crowd, and he's just shredded.
Yeah, like the kid was also shredded. Like you, the short guy, but it's like the tallest man in the world sitting down.
That guy, he's he was an NBA player. He's like the tallest guy who ever played NBA. I can't remember his name. It's not Yao Ming. There's another Chinese player
He did
that
not
played.
look
He was taller than him.
nourished well.
No.
He looked just
He
like
was mainly leg. He was mainly
That's
shit.
why he only lasted 2 years in the NBA. I can't remember his name, but he did there. He's famous.
How tall
Yeah,
is
if
that
it comes
guy?
to cannibalism, that guy is safe.
He's
I
7'7".
will go for
and-
someone else.
I'll tell you as a guy, 5'6", 7'7" with the shins. Yeah, I especially you the old man with glasses, like you look nerdy and feeble, and like he comes out and he's just like ripped.
Really?
He's
Oh,
like,
no, okay,
the
not
guy,
you,
the
yeah.
guy behind him. That I was
the other guy.
Yeah, yeah. They beat the crap out of him and basically run Sing and Bone out of town. Bone fell asleep during all of this,
Yeah.
which I like, and he kind of just wakes up and like leaves.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna get reinforcements, and then eventually just throws a firecracker. He's like,
Yeah,
this is-
firecracker over the wall.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
how you summon the X
reinforcements
Gang.
show up, and the guy's got his hat's blown in half because he got hit with the firework.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have cell phones back then, so you got to call it something.
That's how you trigger him.
Yeah. But
Trigger him, he did.
the backup shows up, but they also kind of get their asses kicked.
But also remember, this is fake backup. So like Sing and Bone were like, oh, like we are with you guys, and they're like, oh, really? They're like, yeah. They're like, well, who threw the firework? They're like, I don't know.
Like some dude, probably.
Yeah, like they're trying to mess with us. They're like, oh, screw that. Like we're all part of the Axe Gang, and Sing and Bone are like, yes.
Yes.
But Mike's right. They all get their asses kicked because this is where we get to learn that there are 3 heroes that emerge.
Yeah.
That before, and that's what I was trying to figure out. Like these supernatural types. Like we saw one in the beginning, and this Axe Gang like shuts it down. But we actually get 3 people appearing, and this is like kind of like
They're
a force.
masters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this is a force that this group cannot handle. And even the town was kind of unaware of this. And we get this younger guy who's been like stacking rice sacks and various other things. We get this tailor who shower curtain rings his arms up.
And then there's Donut.
And then there's Donut, master of the staff. Mm-hmm. We got the bamboo staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they come out and they just beat the shit out of these people. They're like, oh no, not in my town. And you could tell the landlord and landlady are also like, huh. Through a series of events, the landlord is kind of knocked out. Don't worry about it. But they're both there and they're like, very interesting. Like these people are supernatural in defending this town, and this could probably help us in the future. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But for the most part, all it is piss off the Axe Gang. They beat up the Axe Gang and they run off. But the thought is that they just brought trouble on themselves.
Yeah, they run with their axe between their tails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then they have Sing and Bone. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Axe Gang kind of captures them and like, you guys were pretending to be us. You guys can go get fucked. And they're going to kill them. But it turns out Sing can pick a lock pretty good.
Yeah, so as they were throwing like knives at him, Sing is able to like kind of evade this. And they're like, he's really good at getting out of locks. And he was like chained to a wall. And he's like, listen, like, we only pretended to be you guys because we want to be you guys. Like, we're not part of this complex. We're not part of these people. And they're like, I'll make you a deal. We're going to throw some knives at your friend. And if you could pick his locks and escape, we'll kind of like, I don't want to say hire, but like take you both
provisional,
on.
you know?
Yeah.
But he has to kill someone first. That's
Yeah.
like the rite of passage.
And they do escape.
They do escape. Yeah.
And then so this guy Sum, who is in charge of the Axe Gang, he's like, we could always use a couple scumbags like these. And like, yeah. Just like that.
Yeah.
It was like
Well, and Scum, what's his name? Scum?
That's your problem.
that was like some.
Brother,
Is that
son.
his
Yeah,
name?
it's Sum. It's Sum.
Oh,
Yeah, don't like this guy. Oh,
so
wow.
yeah. I like the guys. He has like an assistant, I guess, that follows
Yeah, like
him
this-
around. His
The old
lackey.
guy. Yeah.
With the glasses?
I love that guy.
The guy with the glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love that guy too. That guy's
He's
great.
pretty good.
yeah, he was hilarious.
We're now treated to a flashback of it's Son when he was Sing when he was little.
Yeah.
He gets grifted by some bum who he gives him all of his money for like a kung fu pamphlet.
Yeah, the guy's like, you need to learn the way of like the Buddha's palm, and I could sell you this for like $10.
Well, he has the bone structure of a kung fu genius.
Yeah, he's like, I could tell, like, if you harness your chi and you properly learn things, like you'd be unstoppable.
Right.
But like, I could sell you this for like $10.
Yeah, and he buys it. That was the money he was saving up, I believe, to go to law school or something.
Doctor or lawyer.
Doctor, or either one, doesn't matter.
He's starting early.
Yeah, well, you got to. It doesn't take though. He tries the palm thing on some kids. That sounded weird. He gets into a tussle with some older boys, and he gets his ass kicked, and then he gets peed on by a bunch of folks.
Yeah. So yes, I want to add a little bit to this.
Yeah, no, fill in the blanks there.
They do have like a montage of like he is actively trying to learn from this pamphlet, like days, nights, various other things, and then goes to a playground and like him and this other girl are getting bullied. This girl is mute.
She's got a lollipop. And they're, bullying her. And then he steps in and he's like, I'm going to defend her. And yeah, he tries this palm technique and he just gets his ass kicked. And as Mike notes, the most bizarre part is like, then like 12 kids pee on this.
Got to learn your lesson.
It's what he was.
A little insult to the injury there.
Yeah.
To show that you weren't beaten down by thugs. You're beaten down by thugs and bullies.
And Bones in Harmony.
Yeah.
Thugs and bullies and bones.
They're all
in
right
harmony.
there.
Yeah. So that's weird. And he really feels angry about that. But like oddly, he tells Bone, he's like, I know this technique. So like if push comes to shove, I could hold my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he believes that or not. Like
He probably. I don't think he does. He's all talk.
Yeah.
He hasn't realized the potential yet.
Yeah.
He hasn't found his dragon yet.
Yeah, all talk and no chalk. That's
Yeah.
what they say at the Blackboard store.
He also wanted to emphasize to Bone that he wants to kill. He's tired of trying to be a good guy. And the story just emphasized that good guys finish last.
Yeah. Well, he's seeing all these rich dudes and all these ladies, and he's like, we got to get in on this, Bone.
Yeah.
So he's down to clown or kill someone or whatever. The Axe Gang is like, okay, there's like too many kung fu masters in this shitty little town. We got to make an example. They send Sing and Bone to, I don't know what they were supposed to be doing.
But they're supposed to kill the landlady.
Kill the landlady. Okay.
Yeah. So and then they throw knives at her. And
all of which end up in Sing.
Yeah, Sing is like, listen, I'm going to throw this knife at her, and we're just going to get out of here. So he throws this knife, and it ricochets right off a wall into his arm. The first one's really the worst.
Scene.
Yeah,
The first one amazing.
And then more knives go ricochet. Bone's trying to throw him. Bone is just stabbing him at some points in time.
The first.
I like
one
when he
that
takes
just-
the knife out and puts it back in.
The first one just immediately off the.
That's my favorite one. Yeah, that one. You're like, oh man, like, because it looks like that's exactly what it would have done. Like, that's the worst shot, and it's coming right back at you. I also like that Bone throws a cage full of snakes on top of him. On Sing, that is. So he's like,
Yeah.
he's got like 7 knife wounds, like all these snakes on top of him.
Right, Bone's like, stand back, I'll throw this box of snakes at you, and they just empty out right on
Yeah,
the
he's
Sing.
like, don't worry, I need to sing to them. They love songs, and they won't bite you. And then they bite him. Yeah, Sing's not doing well. They do hit the landlady from a distance.
With a knife handle?
Yeah, she's yelling at everyone in town, and like an assassin shot comes, and yeah, it's just the knife handle. So she gets hit with a piece of wood. She's like, "Are you kidding?" So they're not thrilled. So they come after Bone and Knife again, or Bone and Sing again.
Yeah. Is this like the Looney Tunes car chase thing? Is that where we're at?
This might be one of the points in time where Sing is running. I think that's what you're mentioning.
Yeah.
And the landlady's coming after him.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
These are the elements that are the roughest for me.
Yeah. This didn't need to be there.
Is this the part where their like legs are moving real fast?
Yeah.
And they're like traveling like in the Sonic movies?
Correct. That's what this is.
Yeah, that was weird.
They're
That
all
was
right.
weird.
Scene's all right. I can't say anything about it except it goes Looney Tunes.
It does go Looney Tunes, but like Lamar, I could see like why you're like maybe defending it. But my biggest problem, and I said this before, like the CG that shows it, that really dates it.
No, it's
like,
bad.
Honestly,
Also-
no. If it had looked better, it would have been worse.
Were they trying to like foreshadow Sing's like he has,
Sing.
more than just normal abilities?
Yes, I think
by showing him
so.
running this fast. I mean, I don't understand why they did that. Yeah.
I think this scene was just an element of comedy that Stephen Chow just decided to throw in. Maybe it's his humor. Maybe it's just a little 1 or 2 minute clip of them dicking around with this weird CGI Roadrunner effect. And it fits perfectly because at the end, the landlady like slams into a billboard and it's perfect. The sound of her just hitting the billboard and the visual of her against it. It's totally 100% Looney Tunes.
I like before you see her hit the billboard, you hear the sound, and then you just see like her purse, a bra, like
her hair
shoes,
rollers.
yeah, like just fly across the screen.
I think that's all they wanted was just a Wile E. Coyote scene.
Yeah.
It was all right for me.
Okay. The next scene, and I want to talk about this specifically because I don't understand it. It was, I believe, Sing with his big snake lips. Was he trapped inside of a traffic light box?
I have no idea.
I don't know what that was. That big tin container on top of the light. Yeah.
Okay, because like it showed his droopy poison lips,
And then him regenerating.
and then like he had like some big veiny arms, and he was trying to punch his way out of a metal box that held up traffic lights. I didn't understand what was going on here.
You understood enough.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't
He
matter.
heals fast, and Bone's like, "Wow, every time you get hurt, you heal fast." He's like, "Yeah, I don't know what that's about." But yeah,
He did say that. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Just like
yeah, we
that.
got there.
Mike.
We got there together, Mike. Don't worry.
Okay, I might not still be there yet, but okay. I think I get it.
That's where they put the naughty people up above the traffic lights.
That's the no box. Okay.
The boo box.
Well, that's what I thought at first. Like, did the axe guys put him up there as punishment? Was it like yeah, there's the boo box?
Get into the traffic box. Come on,
But
get
that's
up
just,
there.
That's just where he goes to retreat when he's not feeling well.
Is it time to implement the no box here in Denver?
Yeah, we might have to.
Just put them above the traffic lights.
We don't have enough room.
The prisons are overrun. You got to get in the traffic
get
box.
in the box.
Get into the no box.
Get into the no box is a different thing.
He makes his way out of it though.
Yeah. Well, the Axe Gang is kind of they're pissed off still. They hire
Two musicians.
yeah, who they're not the best assassins. That's a different
second
guy.
best.
But they're probably the second best.
I mean,
Well, the best assassin was so good that he went insane and committed himself to an asylum.
Yeah.
yeah, we'll
And
get to
we'll
them.
revisit him.
That's true.
But, like honestly, these two assassins are like almost unstoppable.
Correct.
Like it's almost through like luck, sort of, that they're stopped. But like they're so overbuffed as villains, like it's crazy.
Yeah. They've got I don't know what kind of musical instrument that is. I'm assuming it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wrote down sitar. Is that a thing?
I don't think it's a sitar. That's like Ravi Shankar.
Yeah. That's not a sitar.
Yeah. I don't know what that would be. It's like a big zither, maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't know Asian instruments that well.
So we have the three heroes that they're trying to assassinate, and they're like, "Oh, we're just musicians. We're gonna come into town. We'll take care of business."
The kicking guy, they take him out immediately.
the young
he's
guy.
dead.
Yeah. They just cut his head right the fuck off.
This scene for me is awesome.
This scene fucks hard.
Yeah, so there's two musicians and one is setting up, and like the younger guy who is like stacking rice and is like really powerful, he kind of senses like something's off, and he sees the musician and he's like, okay, this guy's like plucking. And even the sound is interesting because you hear the guy like tuning this instrument like bing bong bing ding dong, but then like the guy walks up and you just hear a bing and it stops, and like all music stops and like all sound stops. And it's so crazy because like through a series of luck, this guy is not killed for a couple seconds. So you see like the young guy walking and you see his like silhouette shadow next to him. Like it's in night. and clearly things are flying past him.
Like a cat gets cut in half.
That's my favorite part. Not that there's like cat murder, but like a pot.
You don't see. You just see the shit.
Like a pot breaks, and you're like, "What's going on?" And then another pot breaks, but then you see this cat jump like right in back of him, and you see the silhouette, and the cat is just like halved, and that flies apart, and like that cat saved this guy's life like accidentally. But when the guy realizes what's happening, he turns around and you see the musician. And I think he has like one moment where he does evade, like he moves to like one side. Yeah. And then just like immediately you see in the silhouette, like his head goes off. And you're like, damn, dude.
Yeah. If it wasn't clear, they're projecting sonic blades from this instrument.
Yeah. At first, other things come out too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this whole scene was stylized. This definitely holds up. This is what I kind of noted, video game culture. This would be like modern anime. But yeah, this was awesome. It's like sad this guy dies, but you're like, man, like, what a cool scene.
Yes.
Well, they're not done killing.
Yeah, probably best fight scene, I gotta say.
Now we got the Taylor and Donut. They team up.
Yes, they do.
And then the two assassins team up too, 2-on-2. 2-on-2. Din, 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 din. No one knows that song. No. Your kids are gonna love it.
I don't think they're ready for that one yet.
Yeah, no, they weren't. But there's like an epic showdown, and yeah, the musician guys kind of team up. They're both strumming on their thing. Swords are coming out of it.
Eventually, I think dead demon knights.
Yeah, dead demon soldiers are
it was
coming
like
out of it.
The dead men from Dunharrow come out of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they don't show up until the landlady comes out to figure out what's going on, and she does her cigarette scream at them.
The lions roar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that destroys them, and they're like, "Oh my god, I thought this is a fable.
Legendary,
this is a myth."
I didn't know.
And she's like, "Yeah, get out of here."
Yeah.
Well, it's the cigarette that really makes it worthwhile.
Yeah.
That's what I tell myself. Yeah.
Keep it mentholated.
Yeah.
You think she was smoking menthols?
Probably.
Yeah.
You don't have a voice like that unless you smoke menthols.
Yeah.
Sings like an angel.
Okay, so this is where we see Sing and Bone again. They run into the mute girl from his flashback.
This is where I note, like, we've got a really good story here. This is like so needless. This whole story. This part.
Anyway, yeah.
In a way, like, it does nothing.
Well, it reestablishes this character in the present time.
I guess.
I mean, that's...
He's transforming like the
butterfly.
Yeah.
The butterfly we see later.
We'll get to it. If it meant more, this scene would have made more sense. But I agree with you, kind of, Paul. Like in the end, it kind of just fell flat. Didn't need it.
Well, they rob her. They steal her fucking ice cream.
Yeah. So let me know. Like, this is the established romance that they're trying to put in the movie between this girl and Sing, and it goes.
There was no romance. Yeah,
I don't think
like. They try to make it so, like, especially at the end, like, it's all.
I think they just needed a hot girl in this movie.
I don't think it was a romance. Sure. I think it was more of something to balance Sing to being a good guy.
I think they both love one another, and this is what they're trying to highlight at the end of the movie.
That's what I took from it.
And I think it's, like, poorly established.
Yeah. A hot girl, what, Jeremy? You didn't like the bucktooth
that.
Hooker from Pigsty?
No.
That's not me being mean. Like, that's what they describe her as.
Yeah.
Insult after insult with this guy.
Actually, I don't think they ever referred to her as a hooker. I inserted that. But they do call her Bucktooth Woman. And she's not really, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, she has kind of a bit of an overbite.
Yeah, for sure. But
she wasn't bad looking. I mean,
no. Yeah. In context. Sure.
Did it make you go like, I'm certainly flattered? I'm flattered. Nope.
No.
She's like, will you brush my teeth for me?
It didn't help you release some clumps.
Are we ever going to do any clump movies?
Sure.
Okay.
Christmas with the clumps?
Perfect.
Christmas to remember.
It will be.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, they're robbing the ice cream girl.
Rob the ice cream girl.
Yeah, and she can't talk, and he doesn't give a shit. And
Does he know who she is at this point?
No.
That's so when she produces the lollipop from the flashback, which she's been keeping in like a wooden velvet lined chest for the past 20 years.
Yeah, you know, that's a stage 5 clinger right there.
Oh my God, yeah.
So well, let me throw this in. Jerry, that's accurate. Yeah, let me throw this out. Ding dong, someone's at your door. You open it. It's a person you haven't seen since grade school, and they have a lollipop in a box that you gave him.
Right.
You're about
Well,
to
he
get
was
murdered.
looking right at her face while his face was getting pissed on. So maybe that like ingrained it.
Right. When you're
it's like, God.
Yeah, I don't know
I'll
if you
never
remember
forget
me,
this,
but
this girl's face.
20 years ago, I watched you get peed
His
on
face.
while I had a lollipop.
And this seeing your face reminds me of piss.
Like, I've always remembered you as piss face. As I looked at your beauty through a stream of piss.
That's cute.
Oh, it is.
Well, he doesn't think so because he what does he like slap it out of her hand and it shatters on a wall.
Yeah.
And everyone's sad.
Yeah.
Well,
He'll take your money.
yeah, but he does take the money. But he
He
also
broke
tells
a vintage sucker.
yeah, he did. He also tells wow, Paul's pantomiming something. We'll describe it later.
Don't do that.
He also tells Bone to get the fuck away from him.
He's emotionally shook.
Yeah.
I don't want you, boy. Get your own friend.
Right. It's like
sorry, boy. Get out of here.
it's like the end of Harry and the Hendersons, basically.
Nice comparison.
Like you don't belong here.
No one loves
No one
you.
loves you, Bone.
Go, Bone.
Bone's like a sad puppy. He's like, no. He doesn't make those sounds. He just keeps running back just mindlessly.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
he gives him
what?
a bottle of water for the road, so that was nice.
Man, that's nice.
Yeah. A stolen bottle
You think it
of
was
water.
Topo
but,
Chico?
Yeah, I hope
yeah,
so.
probably.
Topes.
Well, he'll make it a long way then.
Yeah.
Nice.
That special energy. Well, he's going to need that because now task number 2 from the Axe Brigade, he has to break someone out of a mental asylum.
Yeah, we found out it's the Beast.
The Beast, the world's top killer.
I like when some people call him Mr. Beast. Like Mr. Beast. It's like
The
one
beast.
of the thugs.
Yeah, he just starts like doing philanthropic work
Hey, Jeremy.
instead of fighting people.
Big Beast.
Big beast. Yeah.
Big beast on
Like
the-
Kelsey
is that-
Grammer from the X-Men.
Yep.
Okay.
Big Blue Beast.
Yeah.
Oh, my stars and garters.
Get out of here with that shit. You know what? I think it would be great. We should TM this right now. We should get all the beasts from the multiverses and just throw them into one beast movie. I think that's what that's what the kids are scampering for.
The beast bukkake.
Beast Wars.
Wow.
Who would watch that?
Big Beast.
Everyone. Who wouldn't watch that?
Maybe.
All right, I've already got the title.
We get Ron
much
Perlman
beast.
from the 80s TV show Beauty and the Beast.
That'd be fantastic.
There you go.
Linda Hamilton, is she going to make a cameo?
She is, yeah. She'll be there.
I'm Belle of the Ball. John Connor. Roar. Is your man hungry? Big Beast.
Is that like a Hungry Man meal for? Okay.
Yeah, the big beast.
Now with 45% more beast.
Wow.
That's 3,500 calories in one sitting.
I've been log jamming all day. I really need some big beast.
Log jamming. Wow. You work up an appetite with all that log jamming.
Roar.
My flannel's stained.
I'll tell you what it is later.
Big beast.
Boy. Well, they do. He does spring Big Beast from whatever the fuck he's
So
at.
here's another fun turn of writing for me. So like there's like
Okay.
real gems here. So Big Beast is sprung, and they're like,
Big
was it?
Beast is sprung.
And he's like, what? They're like, so Brother Sum is like, again, the leader of the Axe Gang. He's like, what could we do to pay you? Like, what do you want? He's like, honestly, I put myself there. I could have escaped. I want to go up against the number one fighter or group or whatever. I'm unstoppable. I'm like an unstoppable kill machine. And if you have a real person or group you want me to go up against, I'll do it for free. Like, I want to challenge. And I'm like,
that's why he's in the insane asylum. He's like, I defeated everybody, and it made me depressed.
Right. So I
myself.
Bro, I love this. He's like, I could have left. Like, I'm the best. Like, and they're like, oh my God, this is great. They're like, show us some moves. And I like that he's like, none of you are worthy of any of this. And then random thugs try to beat him. And that seems like a huge mistake.
You can tell that he could have left at any time, because when Singh breaks in, there's like this big lock in front of the door right before Mr. Beast, and he just takes this paper clip. He's about to fiddle with it, but it just opens. And I feel like he was just sitting there the whole time because there's really no security.
Yeah.
He's getting 3 squares a day, Lamar.
And it makes it seem like he's breaking into this big ass building when really he just walks in and just opens a door. And
I don't think anyone cared that he was there.
And Beast is just sitting there eating noodles when
I thought he was taking a shit.
I thought he was like sitting in a chair just eating. Maybe he was taking a shit.
I see what I want to see.
I see what I want to see.
Yeah.
Okay. We were having, we saw different things.
Shit need at the same
How about this? I didn't want to see that, and totally agree with Mike. I thought he was using the toilet.
Okay, well, in my mind, I'm thinking he's just eating a bowl of ramen.
You repressed
Was he
everything.
sitting on the toilet backwards
Yes.
and like eating the noodles off the back of the toilet?
Yeah.
Happy place.
That door opened, and just Lamar went, TNT.
Yeah, it's happy for me.
Yeah. Eating a bowl of cereal.
But all he wants is some competition.
Yeah. Well, he gets it pretty quick.
Taylor's dead. Also, like,
we kind of glossed over.
Yeah,
that.
like out of all the heroes, the young guy died. Taylor's alive for a little bit, and then dies.
Is Donut okay?
Yeah, Donut's alive.
Yeah. Good. He was my favorite.
But then later dies, I think.
Does he? I think you might be right.
He dies at a certain point.
Yeah. We all die at some point.
Yeah. Sooner or later, everyone eats the big donut.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I could go for some donuts right now.
Dude, tell me about it. Cigarettes and donuts, if you have either of those things,
Oh, no.
call me.
God damn it.
I like that, Jeremy, every time we talk about like sweets, you're like, I don't really eat them. And now you're like, I love donuts. In an episode a couple weeks ago, you're like, I don't really eat anything. You're like, but like pies, cakes, donuts, ice cream.
Hey, it's the holidays.
That's true.
I like to eat the nuts of the season.
Damn right.
You like to eat the nuts?
Look, Jeremy,
Of the season.
Jeremy, the cultural polite way to talk about this is, I like to eat the nuts of the season, is what you go up and say to someone. Like, Michael, I like to eat the nuts of the season. And they are supposed to respond with, may they be strewn upon your face.
Or you can just,
May they.
they're supposed to say
and
present them.
May they.
That's the Hong Kong way.
Presenting them is a different cultural situation and a different holiday.
Sure.
Stick incense between my thighs.
I don't know what culture you're visiting.
He's crossing his dreams.
May they be
Crossing the
strewn
cultures.
across your face.
They will be.
May you all get the canalupus.
Canalupus. Okay.
I'm gonna start smoking. Right here at my microphone.
Big beast.
Beast is sitting there while they're saying, we'll find competition for you, but he can feel a presence right there in the building.
That's right.
And he does this amazing kick out of nowhere, and it like rips the room in half, and then breaks a hole in the wall. And on the other side is the landlady and landlord.
They're playing
Yeah,
poker.
they're gambling.
Yeah, they're gambling.
They're playing poker. They're
I
shouting out the place.
They're
how the
typical retirees.
I love how the landlord is dressed here.
Oh, my God.
Like a young Elvis.
I like them both. They're
This-
both
the
looking
whole-
great. I love their attire.
The outfit is strong.
Yeah, so they fight all, and I like there's like an agreement, and they're like sitting there, and the beast is saying, he's like, I heard you're the best, and you're these, star-crossed lovers that like, are like legend. And they're like, yes,
Yeah.
it is us. Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay, so I want to fight you. And I like that there's kind of like a moment of like a real conversation. And they're like, are you really working with the Axe Gang? And he's like, Mr. Beast is like, no. Like, I don't give a shit about these people. They're like, oh. He's like,
Yeah.
I just heard you're the best, and I literally either want to kill you or be killed by you. How do you feel about this? They're like, oh, let's do it. And they're like, all right, cool. And they fight. And they get
Does
their
not
ass
go
kicked.
well for the landlady and the landlord.
No, and really, it kind of does. But the upper hand that the beast gets on him, he's just a liar. And so the lion's roar is what tries to save the landlady and the landlord, even though they're getting their ass kicked, and it doesn't work. So they basically carve out a bell, this giant like metal bell. They take off the top of it and they use it as like a megaphone, and they amplify the lion's roar, and that does destroy him. And before they kill him, he's like, I submit, I give in. And they're like, okay, we won't kill you. And then he stabs them both. But then they're both able to hold their ground, and they're in this like weird like wrestling grip with all three of them combined. Also, side note, oh no, we'll get to this in a second. And so basically what happens is a brother Sum is like, I'm not going to like intervene. And like his little lackey's like, hell no, I'm not going to intervene either. And like that new guy we hired, get him. And that's Sing. They're like, go beat the shit out of those two dudes with this board. And he's like, okay, and doesn't. He beats the crap out of Sum and then whacks the beast a couple times. The beast freaks out. Face palm Sing into the ground repeatedly. Just punch.
Why did you hit me?
Yeah, like, why did you hit me? And I do like that in all of this. The last move Sing has is he takes that like little like club and just goes bonk right against his head, and then just then just gets his face beaten into a pulp. And with this, he turns around for a second, and Sum's like, "Oh my god, like you got to kill these people." And with that, the landlord and landlady escape, and they do take Sing with them. In this moment, Sum is trying to be a little ass about all of this, and Beast is like, whatever, destroys him, kills him immediately, and takes over the Axe Gang. So I like that at this point in time, the Beast is dressed in like slippers and like a tank top. The next time we see him, he's like in weird like a black tank top with black
They
pants.
all look like they're fucking funeral home directors of like the 1930s.
Yeah.
I love their attire though.
Nah, it's pretty good. The land peoples, they're nursing Sing back to health and remarking about how quickly he's healing considering quick. That he was basically destroyed at a molecular level earlier.
Yeah, and they were listed as the two fated lovers.
Fated lovers, that's right. Well, yeah,
but he pulls an Asian Jesus, though, man.
He does pull an Asian Jesus. He comes out of the cave.
They literally have him bandaged up like it, and they do a whole cocoon thing, emerging out of like a butterfly thing. Yeah, they have him bandaged up like a mummy.
Right. In case you didn't get the metaphor, they literally showed a butterfly coming out of a cocoon.
And appropriately, it's Asus.
Yes.
Okay.
Pulling Asus.
Okay.
Jesus.
A. Like the letter A.
Jesus. Jesus.
No, like. Okay.
As this is happening, the landlady and the landlord are kind of talking to themselves, murmuring about, wait a minute, he's healing quickly. He must be.
Could he be the one?
Is he the one? Yeah.
They also make this weird note. They're like, if our son was alive, he would be at this age and stuff like that. And I'm like,
is this your son?
None of that's ever addressed.
I know. I'm like,
it's like,
yeah.
I was like,
we could say this.
Is it your son? Like, is there a backstory that we're going to keep going with this?
Did they abandon him because he got peed on? They're like, dude, get out of my fucking house.
You're like fucking pissed, dude. Get out of here.
Yeah. Pissed, literally, Jeremy.
Yeah, right in his fucking mouth.
Hey, Jeremy, and what about the guy in the bathroom, Frank? What did he ever do to you?
What did he do to you?
Hey, what about the guy in the bathroom?
Oh, Frank.
Yeah, so, I mean, he is the Asus. And he transforms. He's going to show you his true form. And he is now...
he's Bruce Lee.
Yeah, he's basically Mega Bruce Lee.
Yeah. And he's beating ass.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere.
The Axe Gang goes down every which way. I mean,
super fast.
Yeah, he just plows through these guys every which way. Like death, kick, wall, like punch. Like they're just going down like one.
He sends like 25 or 30 of them like just straight up in the air.
I think
and then you see them fall like all falling down like rain.
Yeah, there's like one point, and I think it's this, where you hear like the inner workings of a pinball machine. It's like bling, bling, bling. Like that's like what he's doing. And then he works his way up to the Beast. You found the boss.
Yeah, they tussle for a little bit. He kind of has the upper hand. Then we're treated to the beast's final form, which is a frog, I guess.
Frog form.
Frog form.
Instead of the way of the toad.
Ribbit.
Way that showed. Yeah, and this works okay for a little while.
Well, for the beast it does, because this then kind of turns the tables, and at this point in time, he just kicks the holy shit out of Sing, even in Sing's new altered form.
Yeah, he kicks him up into the sky.
He's gonna fly like an eagle.
But then he finds an eagle.
He's gonna jump off an eagle.
He did a little Bo Peep off the
nice.
eagle there.
Hey, that's a lesson to be learned. If you're flying up in the sky and you need a step above, just jump off an eagle.
Yeah.
If he did a little kick flip off of it, that would have been just a.
That's good advice.
A little thumbs up and a wink.
Yeah.
A little rinky dink.
Oh.
A little shrinky dink in your oven.
But he gets to the
But
top.
this is he remembered like a page from I guess that pamphlet he bought as a kid.
Yeah.
and now
The thing that homeless man grifted him for earlier. Yeah.
yeah, and now he can do that technique
Yeah.
properly.
The Buddha's palm.
Well, it's a forgotten technique.
Yeah.
And that's what the landlord and landlady say. They're like, so he starts coming down from the sky, like a mile up in the sky. And they're like, you see him kind of catch fire. I do like this. He's floating upside down. He's got some kind of prayer going on. His hands catch fire first. And the landlord and landlady are like, oh my God, it's that.
I think that's just friction, man. Like he was falling along.
Or him just entering
he's on
Earth's
re-entry.
atmosphere.
No. He jumped off that eagle and absorbed the eagle power. That's eagle power.
I see.
That's right.
Flaming eagle power.
Did you
I'm
notice
on fire.
at the height of that jump, there was the Buddha cloud, and I think it winked at him.
It did. 100% did. Yeah.
I wish I high fived him as well.
Or good job, boy.
Maybe a bit too far, but I would have accepted it.
So yeah, he's gonna Buddha palm the shit out of this
Hell
guy
yeah.
on the way down, and Mr. Beast is like, "No, please, I give in," and it stops, and Sing lands, and the Beast is like, "It's a trick again. I'm never good to my word," and he tries to stab him like he did the landlord and landlady with this weird flower dagger tip.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a cool device. And Sing just shuts that down, and I love that he still has the Buddha, the Buddha power.
Yeah. Which he uses to destroy 1/4 of this apartment.
I know. As soon as that happened, that whole complex is so destroyed. They've gone through walls, and now Mike's right on fourth. I looked at all these guys in the room. I was like, does anyone even want to live there anymore?
Were there people in those apartments?
He killed
they're dead.
20 people. You know he did.
Yeah, I believe that.
Casualties of war, friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one wants to live there anymore. Yeah, so that Buddha hand goes through, again, a huge portion of this complex, and is basically just showing the powers, I could easily destroy you. You're nothing. You're, so weak in comparison to me. And the end is kind of amazing, where the Beast is like, oh my God, what is it? What is it that you did? And I just very calmly, Sing turns around and is like, I could show you.
Yeah, I can teach you.
And then immediately the Beast gets on his knees. He's like, you're my master.
Beast is down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like this end. This is kind of cool. And the landlord and landlady are like, yes. And then you see a kind of a jump into the future. That device that shot that weird dart is broken apart, and it's kind of like a flower, and a petal goes off into the air, and it lands with the girl selling ice cream, and she's like, I know things are better. We see kind of in the future that things, I guess, are better. Bone and Sing opened up a candy shop to run this girl right out of town. No, I'm just kidding. She's like, what's going on? There's a candy shop. I'm just trying to sell candy on the street. And then he comes outside and he's like, it's me. It's always been me. And I'm not going to rob you anymore. And they turn into kids, and they have memories. And they're like, oh, we were so innocent, and we're innocent again. And that's the Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah. He's like, I can take you to this candy shop. Let you lick the lollipop.
Yeah. Where else would you take kids?
Right.
Whoa.
At the candy shop.
Oh, no.
And then that's it. Yeah. Then
you fly like an eagle.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into our overview of this film and all things Lunar New Year, as always, thanks for listening to us. And if there's something else you'd like to reach out to us about, we have so many ways of communicating that it's insane. It's insane. You could get to us on emails, You know about this? Web pages?
You guys heard about
If
this
they
thing?
pray to us, will we get their prayers?
You'll get Buddha palm will just be in our front yard.
Very nice.
Is that when someone's jerking off in our window?
Yes.
And they want to watch a movie. In the
Yes.
background.
That's called a to have you. As always, feel
That's
free
nice to have you.
As always, feel free to reach out to us at rabbittroopsuckspodcast@gmail.com. That's our, our email. Feel free to ask us to review a film or let us know about films. Or are you in a film? Do you have some kind of affiliation with film? Did you do some work on a film? People have been writing us like, I did some work on a film. Let's talk about this. Let's get you on here, or let's get some quotes about that. That'd be super awesome. But yeah, Rabbit Troop Sucks Podcast at gmail.com.
What would you do if somebody wrote in and they're like, hey, I work camouflage in a film once?
I love it.
Get them on.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Work camouflage?
Yeah.
Well, then we're interviewing the Predator. It's great. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, I know,
We'll
man.
take 'em.
And that guy came out of the mud. He's like, blub, blub.
Well, now that we know Paul can speak Predator, this makes it easier.
Hey, I'm sorry. I just need that helmet that kid could decipher to do all Predator.
Oh, God.
Too real for you, yeah, right? That's what you get when you keep making Predator movies. Feel free to go to our webpage, rabbittroopsucks.com. We have links to our podcast episodes. We have links to merchandise. We have pictures. We have various other things as well. And as always, we're on all sorts of platforms for podcasting. We are on Spotify. We're on Amazon. We are on the podcast app that's on your iPhone. We are on YouTube. We're everywhere. So if there's one place you've been listening to and you're platform curious, feel free to jump aboard on another one. You can listen to us there as well. And we are on Instagram and Facebook. What did everyone
That's a
think
lot of places.
It
Yeah.
is.
It is.
It's a lot of places. You could find us. You know where Jeremy lives.
God, I hope not.
Show him the two-pronged monkey we were just talking about. Show him the blarp blarp.
Yeah.
Come out of the mud.
Yeah, just stand in front of these windows here,
Jeremy, what did you think of Kung Fu Hustle? You picked this movie, friend.
It's a fun movie. It's a little, I don't know. It's tough to care about the characters because of all like the intense over the top action that's going on. It's a good, like, if you just want to see some like outlandish kung fu that has insane choreography, terrible special effects, decent acting. Hopefully you can find this movie dubbed somewhere. I think it would be hilarious to see like how they interpret this and how they like act it out dubbed. But yeah, go for it. It's not the greatest movie, but that's not what we're after here. And I enjoyed it.
Lamar, what do you think about Kung Fu Hustle?
Thank you for recommending it, Jeremy. I haven't seen it in ages, nor have I even thought about it. I totally forgot this movie existed. Not that it's a bad thing. It's just that I haven't thought about it. And maybe have seen it twice in the past, like once in the theater and maybe once again. I think we rented it a couple of years after it came out and then just put it away. And I wrote one word to describe this movie: whimsical. I think that's the perfect word to encapsulate everything that happens in this movie. It happens just like I said earlier. If you're a fan of quirky anime action, especially from late 90s and early 2000s-ish, I don't watch anime anymore, but when I did, that's the time period that I watched it, and I enjoyed some of the tropes that came out of that style of martial arts and comedy. I think this movie perfectly encapsulates all of that. It's perfect for that. And I don't know if it hits for people who don't like that style. I find it kind of quirky. And Paul, you said something earlier about this movie and its length. If it went above that 2-hour mark, like they had the opportunity to, and I totally could have seen it go that way, no way this movie would have worked. Where it is right now is perfect.
Yeah, it's like at about an hour and 40 minutes.
Yep.
Lamar, you kept saying like this movie's quirky. What would you say to a viewer that's like, I don't like quirky, but I do like quirky Romano?
Then you won't like it because it has none of that. There's no Romano, no quirky Romano.
That's my main issue with the movie.
I'm sorry to hear
Not
that.
not enough quirky Romano.
not enough. Even if you're looking for a little, it won't satisfy you. I'm sorry. But it's fun.
Like a Snickers. It's maybe like the Snickers.
And classic martial art films, if you're into the early 80s martial arts films, I think this movie has a nice little look at how they did it. It's kind of like a modernized, stylized version of that.
That's fair.
And of course, the wire theatrics, if you're into that. Hell yeah. People flying around in this movie. Michael.
Yeah, this movie's fine. To Lamar's point, I do not like anime. I think it's weird. So maybe that kind of drives some of my decision here. I think this movie is kind of worse than the sum of its parts. Like, it's funny, and there is decent fight choreography, but it hits that spot where, like, it's not funny enough to be a standalone comedy. The martial arts sequences aren't good enough to just kind of carry the movie. I don't know. There's never a point where I would sit down and go like, I want a weird blend of everything that this movie has, and this is the one. I'd rather watch something a little more martial arts focused or a little bit funnier. But I can't fault anything for it. Like, it's fine. I enjoyed it. This is, I think, the second time I've seen it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just okay for me. I'd watch it again, but it's like there are many other movies that I would put over this if I was in the mood for something that this movie did.
Yeah, I totally agree with Mike that this movie, for me, has that last action hero complex that I noted before. That watching this, I'm like, I don't mind this. I'm not angry with this. I'm not enjoying some of this. Like, there's some of the scenes I'm like, this is hilarious. Some of these scenes I'm like, this is really cool martial arts. But all of this movie kind of makes me want to watch other movies that are kind of better, like more focused, like, this is like, I would rather watch a movie that's like, this is seriously just going to be a comedy, or another movie that's like, it's going to be a little more in martial arts or something like that. Again, I totally agree with Mike. Like, it's of no fault of its own. And I think this is more of just like a 2004 thing. Like, we're looking at a movie that's now 21 years old. Does it really last, like this thought of like releasing more of a comedic martial arts movie? To this extent, I don't. I think when this movie came out, I think I liked it more. I don't think I was like raving about it, but I just think it was more of like in that time frame. I was like, oh, this makes sense. And now that so many other movies have come out and various other things, we have so many choices. The choice of a new generation. That I'd probably just watch another one. So
yeah,
it's not like I think this is a bad movie. I had fun watching it, but there are many other films since 2004 that you just have like a bigger selection. But I like Stephen Chow. I would like to see more at some point in time. I don't know what this guy does outside of.
I think he just does this.
Like, he did this, I think.
Okay.
Like, I don't know like what else he really does that's more modern and stuff like that.
You know, I think one of this movie's biggest issues, and it's not, again, the fault of the movie, like, it kind of came out in that post-Matrix time frame where everyone was leaning into those weird special effects, and it just makes the movie look super dated.
Yeah, the CG is not aged
no,
well.
It's awful. But I mean, that's just, there were so many movies of this time that suffer from this. Like, if they had made this movie with 80% more practical effects, which they easily could have, I think it would have held up a lot better.
Stephen Chow was in 2024. He was in The King of Stand-Up Comedy, which is, I think, a series that is currently going on.
Did he just kick everyone's ass?
I hope so. Make me laugh.
When the comedians didn't do well, he Buddha palmed them into the sky.
And yes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see more of his stuff. I thought he was really good in this, but yeah, I agree, Mike. Like, it's just dated in areas, and yeah, it's kind of hard to overlook in certain things.
Yeah.
Should you watch this movie together with friends? I think either or, kind of indifferent with this movie.
I mean, I think you should watch this movie regardless.
I agree.
Like, I know I wasn't super complimentary about it, but like, I think there's a lot of value here for a lot of people, and I think it's kind of interesting. So there you go.
I think it would register a little more for people who are looking for that kind of the closest thing to kung fu cartoon live action that you can get around that time.
If you do like anime, then maybe this is for you.
Yeah.
And even if you don't anymore and you did in the past, like I did, I think it registers a little more for me because I can kind of feel some of those fight scenes. I can see them drawn in my head. Kind of in that.
No, this is more. I think this is more of like an artistic martial arts piece, kind of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where it's more, I don't know, fantasy based.
Yeah.
I do think this was like a period of time where like the Asian martial arts movies have always had these fast paced fight scenes, but they haven't had the budget to like film them properly. Where America has always had the budget, but they have had terrible like fight choreography, historically speaking. And I think that they started to blend over during this time period because of like movies like this and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Good point.
And now you
Agreed.
have like, movies like, what the fuck is that Chris Hemsworth shit that was on Netflix? Extraction, where it's like fucking super. Like people just don't stop moving now in like the action sequences. Like it's just 10 minutes of pure fucking chaos.
And goddamn shaky cam all over the place.
Yeah, that you got that. It's a rarity for that to work out. You need like Mad Max. Like that worked for Mad Max.
Yeah.
And then it's really rare for that to work outside of that. But yeah, I mean, as I noted before, like I like did nitpick a little, like as I said, like this whole love romance, this goes nowhere. This is so inconsequential. Like this is what would have lengthened the movie, and I didn't want that. So like I'm glad that it didn't go that route. But like you could have just deleted this. This could have been rewritten to be something else completely. Yeah, there's just some like loose ends and some weird things. Like this movie could honestly be edited down another 10 minutes, I think, easily. But I don't think it needs to be extended, but I did have fun with it. And again, a lot of the martial arts scenes are cool. I do like the core of the story. I absolutely love the ending. Like the idea that just like
With
Beast
the candy
is
shop.
and that Beast is like, I want to learn from you. And I was like, all right, like, even though you just killed a bunch of people and you're insane, but I like that idea. Like immediately he's like, I'm not tricking you. I will give myself fully to you and just please teach me these ways. Like you are better than me. I think that was cool. But yeah, I mean, overall kind of mixed bag, but yeah. Well, hey everyone, thanks for joining us. This is, our Lunar New Year celebration and again, Year of the Snake. But we thought we'd be a little cheeky and keep this going. A movie we have not seen for a bit. Maybe Jeremy has. 2006. We're going to keep that Year of the Snake going with Sammy J and Snakes on a Plane. So yeah, next week we'll be with you with a little snake theme going on. We have all seen this film. Jeremy, you have seen it?
Yeah, I've seen this. Do you think that there's going to be any wood snakes on this plane?
Maybe.
Yeah, specifically.
Maybe. You should research that.
Yeah.
So transform.
Any last thoughts about our current film?
No.
There was kung fu and they hustled.
They did hustle.
It did.
Well, as always then, Rabbit Troop sucks.
Yes.
Diddle-diddle, diddle-diddle, diddle-diddle.